everybody? Welcome to Dead Air, a DayZ Talk Show. I am, of course, your host, drumsetjunky, Wesley drumsetjunky Hollingsworth, and of course, joining me is Jamie from DayZintel.com. How are you, sir?
Good evening, everyone.
All right,
Hello.
all right. You having a good one?
I am indeed.
All right.
Yourself?
I've got a beer. You were a bad influence on me, so I got
Would you?
myself a beer. You were drinking a beer before the show, so I was like, I gotta have a beer. So, cheers.
Cheers.
And I'm ready to talk about some DayZ stuff, man. For those of you who don't know, this is Dead Air. Of course, I've already introduced the show, but it's a DayZ talk show. We're going to talk about mostly DayZ standalone, but everything DayZ related. If it's got zombies and it's basically made from an Arma engine, we're interested in it, as you probably are as well. We're going to talk mostly focusing on a lot of standalone things because standalone is the game that's in development the most right now by Bohemia Interactive. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. But real quick, I'd like, as this is our actual first official episode, if you could, Jamie, introduce yourself to the people watching and the people who might be watching on YouTube later. Tell us who you are and basically what you do.
Yeah, sure. My name's Jamie. I'm from Glasgow, Scotland, and I run DayZintel.com. So I'm the admin there. If you've ever been in contact with the site, it will have been me that's been in contact back. So we cover pretty much everything DayZ. We try and do all the standalone stuff. We cover weapons, items, streamers. We work a lot with kind of new and upcoming DayZ streamers. Featuring folk, helping people get exposure and stuff. So that's kind of DayZ Intel.
In a nutshell.
Yep.
Cool. And if this is your first time ever watching something on my channel, of course, I'm drumsetjunky. This is my YouTube channel. I mostly stream DayZ related content, but all kinds of nerdness happens on my channel. So hit that follow button, as you'll always know when I go live, etc., etc. Let's just jump in right off the bat here, and let's start talking about DayZ. That's what we're here for, right?
Cool.
Um, we have a patch that's coming up fairly in the next couple of days, we hope.
It
But
should be.
it should be. But we got a weekly report on the DayZ Dev, basically blog, their development blog. Basically, kind of giving us an update on why, the patch wasn't out quite yet. This patch being 0.37, and what they were doing, why it wasn't out yet, and some problems that they've been having with it. Let's just go ahead and talk about that. Basically, they're having some issues with some bugs. Go
I
ahead.
think the major bug that they've had with 3.7 is zombies and players on clients have been kind of popping in and out of visibility and invisibility. So no one wants to be running around Cherno being killed by invisible players. So they've not pushed it to stable yet, which is perfectly acceptable, I think.
No, I agree. I don't think anybody really wants to be getting hit by an invisible zombie.
Yeah.
Or have an invisible zombie chase them and they not know how to deal with it. Or worse, a player. 0.37 is really kind of, I guess they're kind of officially calling it like a survival patch, survival content patch. You're gonna have all kinds of new things that are coming with it, some cooking, combat, some survival combat, and things like that are pretty interesting. What? Give me a highlight real quick. What as far as this next patch? We've already kind of discussed 0.37 almost in its entirety in the pilot episode, which is on YouTube right now. But kind of give us a quick rundown of what's going to be in 0.37 for maybe those who haven't had a chance to see the patch notes or haven't had a chance to watch the previous episode of Dead Air.
Okay, so 0.37 was, I think it was pushed to experimental 2 weeks ago in its early states. The big things with 0.37 were really survival stuff, like you said.
Hmm.
So bow and arrow was showcased. Although it's not in 0.37, it was in the devlog. So they're kind of making steps towards the whole physics thing. Physics was supposed to be in this patch, but it's been disabled currently. I think because there's just having issues with it. Uh, Things like hunting, cooking, persistent storage, all that sort of stuff is coming very soon.
Yep. I think I'm most excited for persistent storage.
Yeah,
Having the ability to just kind of sequester away a backpack full of ammo or food in a place that's only known to me is something I'm very excited for, and I
yeah,
know a
that's
lot of
that's
people are.
it's going to make a massive difference to the way people play the game right now.
Um, Now, one of the things that the weekly report talks about, survival cooking. I'm just going to read it off a little bit off verbatim here. Progress continued with the development of several different kinds of fireplaces and has moved on to creating assets for constructible ovens. That's actually the first time I've heard anything about a constructible oven. Thoughts
Yeah,
on that?
constructible ovens seems kind of weird. Like the fact that most residential apartments or houses already have ovens and cookers in the kitchens.
Hmm.
So either they're kind of bypassing that altogether, or maybe they're going to do both. I would like to be able to go into a house and fire up the oven with some logs and some matches or whatever, and stick some food in there. But it seems like they might just be bypassing that altogether and just going for straight up constructible ovens. Like you take some stones, some logs, some matches, maybe a shovel or whatever, and you can build your own oven in the woods,
Okay,
which is kind of weird, I guess. But
that is kind of weird. But I guess that may lead to some further crafting kind of things. If you can build some type of an oven, then you might be able to temper your own metal for like your own constructible knives or scrap
improvised
metal,
weapons.
improvised weapons, or scrap metal for vehicles. That leads on to a crafting system that gets really deep and complex, which is
Yeah,
very interesting to a lot of people. I know a lot of people are excited about. That's one of the things that a lot of people are most excited about is the crafting system that they're laying the foundation for in these first, I guess, content patches um, of standalone.
I guess
So.
you could probably think of the improvised oven in a similar fashion to the furnace in Minecraft,
Mhm.
where you build it and it's there forever. You can always come back to it and stuff all sorts of stuff into it and get all sorts of cool gear out of it.
Yeah. Um, so that'll be pretty cool. It does say on that site that these items will be persistent in the world. So it basically allows the player to cook a large variety of different things. So I'm pretty excited about it. The other thing is bows and arrows. We talked about that a lot um, in the pilot episode. Um, but being able to construct a PVC, the PVC being usually the bendable plumbing lines, a PVC or a stick bow is pretty exciting. I look forward to that. Having somebody in your squad that has a silent weapon always at the ready is pretty cool potentially to have. So
Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
Um, and of course, you're able to go hunting in the woods and not give away your position or waste any ammo on a pig or a rabbit or whatever. So, um, and of course, the arrows will be retrievable just like they were kind of like in the mod. So that's pretty exciting to hear and see how that works. Of course, a lot of that is still like we're gonna see how it works with the physics, you know. But in general, I'm pretty excited for 0.37. I don't think I think after they kind of delayed it coming out because when I first saw as many things that they were wanting to add, I was like, wow, that's a lot of stuff for one patch. That's a big patch. Um, so I kind of felt like maybe they bit off more than they can chew, and I think that maybe this delay kind of proves it. What do you think about that?
Yeah. So the patch notes are pretty huge right now, but I think that's just due to the fact that it's been delayed for so long, and for some reason they keep adding on more and more stuff. Like you would think an initial delay would mean they would want to sort out whatever is causing that delay before kind of pushing it to live, but they seem to be adding more and more new stuff in, which is fine by me. Just as long as the new stuff isn't causing further issues, which then delays the patch even more.
Right.
So,
Well,
uh,
this was kind of a problem in the mod. They would like produce all this content, or they would get all this new cool features into the mod, and then there'd be like one or two major bugs that would delay that new uh, patch from coming out, and then they would kind of like throw in more stuff, and then like stuff would kind of like stack. Like some things were broken, and then some things weren't broken, and you never knew what in the new patch was going to be broken and what it wasn't.
yeah,
So I kind of would rather them just like, okay, let's really flatten out and figure out what the bugs are, and let's iron that out, and then we'll get all the rest of the stuff in the next patch. Because the thing that worries me is you're going to have all these new things that they've added, but the experimental branch, which is like the testing servers, those have already been updated to 0.42, unless I'm mistaken.
oh yeah, they're running 4.2 right now.
So there may be a whole host of things that weren't ever tested on experimental that are going out to stable now, which I understand it's still alpha. I mean, it's all one big test. It's all one big test. But
Yeah,
whenever you're putting something out on the stable, I expect some stability. Like even if it is alpha, even if it is
yeah,
alpha, I expected that there's some features of this that should almost all be working,
yeah.
regardless whether it's alpha. If you're putting out new content, so that kind of concerns me. We'll see how this patch plays out. Our concerns here could be completely unwarranted, and everything will work beautifully. I doubt that'll happen, but we'll see. Um,
Yeah.
we'll see. I don't know. uh, but I am excited about it. One of the things that the weekly report does talk about, and I think this is the last thing we're going to talk about as far as the weekly report says, and I'm going to read it again verbatim. In addition, a new guaranteed network message system has been developed to solve network issues, which improves client/server performance as well as reduces the desync issues experienced by many. So that's welcome news. Any kind of optimization, anytime I see in patch notes like that there's a minuscule amount of optimization, that immediately makes me happy, because that has been something that has plagued Bohemia products uh,
Forever.
forever. So any kind of, even if it's a network bubble thing, um, I'm really excited about that. Rocket, this is kind of unrelated to this weekly report, but Rocket tweeted out a couple of weeks ago that he had found a bug that was causing cities to lag more than they really should already. Uh, so, and that's not a direct quote at all, but basically that's what he was saying in his tweet, and that he's hoping to get that fixed, which should increase performance in the larger cities. So that's pretty exciting as well. So hopefully
It's
we'll
possible the fixes that have been mentioned in 0.42 are actually relating to that tweet.
that could
Because I think
be
he sent that out a few days ago, but I've no idea specifically what the problem was
right.
or how they've managed to fix it.
Cool. Um, and I think that's a good enough segue into point 42. Point 42's got some stuff that I think that's going to be really exciting for a lot of people. Because there's new fucking guns. New guns are always a welcome thing in DayZ. Let's just talk about that. Like, what were your first initial thoughts whenever you saw the patch notes come out here a day or two ago?
Uh, I don't think anyone was expecting to see four new guns straight off the bat. It was it's quite a big thing. It's the most firearms that have been added to a patch since the game launched. So I'm quite excited to kind of try them all out. I know three of them are pistols, so it's
Hmm.
not as exciting as it kind of could have been.
Right.
Uh, but three new pistols, considering there's only one pistol at the moment, the three new pistols they're just gonna help balance things out a little bit. There should be more pistols in the game. Pistols, if like civilian weaponry, like pistols are just all over the place. So
Right. Oh
you,
yeah,
you would you
absolutely.
would you would expect to find more pistols than you do rifles or whatever. Um,
Yeah, I think I'm most excited for the fact that they are now bringing 22 a 22 pistol and a 22 rifle um into the game. I think that's what I'm most excited for. The 1911 is going to be neat. The CR75 is going to be neat as well. It's obviously less powerful than the 1911, but those 22 pistols are really going to be neat because it will allow you to take care of zombies in a little bit quieter fashion. Um, let's just go down real quick through the list. The first one that they had was the CR75 pistol. Uh, and just as Jamie, I think so, put so succinctly in the DayZ Intel post, it is a massively popular pistol in Eastern Europe. So I think that this could probably be probably the most common pistol out there.
it might be, yeah.
With the 1911, seeing how it's more powerful, the 1911 being a more military spawn item. So I'm pretty excited to see that in the game.
What
I love. Let me give you a second. Let me give me a second to toot your horn a little bit here. I absolutely freaking love your weapons listings on DayZ Intel, as it has the power rankings, the accuracy, the range, the noise, and
yeah,
the rarity. I love that. I love that. Can't wait to see you have to update these because like balance issues and stuff make them change. So I can't wait to see you
yeah.
have to chase that.
I try and pull all that information from Reddit and the DayZ forums. Uh, Obviously, it's not 100% accurate, but it's as accurate as I can make it at the moment.
Right.
Was the CZ75? I know it's called CR75 in this game, but
Mhm.
was it in the mod or
No,
I can't remember. It
no,
wasn't in the
it
mod.
was not in the mod. It was not in the mod.
All
To the
right.
best of my
So it's
knowledge, it was not in the mod.
so it's a new gun then.
It's
Um.
completely new gun as far as I know.
So it fires CR75
Nine
fires
nine millimeter
9 millimeters. Yeah.
parabellum.
So
Yeah.
it's
So it's not as powerful as the 45 or 357. But it's going to be not marginally, but significantly more powerful than the 22 pistols.
yeah.
So that's good. I think that this will probably be the most common military spawn
I
pistol.
would think so. Yeah.
Um, I would actually be surprised to see. I would be surprised if the 357, even though the 357 is more powerful than the CR75, I would be surprised to see it less rare. Meaning that the CR75 would be even more rare. So I
Yeah.
would, because I can imagine, I can see revolvers, being like around people's houses and stuff, you know, a little bit more than a military style CR75, even though it is a pistol that's made in the Czech Republic. Let's go on to the 1911. The 1911 looks sexy. I
It does.
gotta
They've
say,
done a
it
really good
looks
job.
sexy. I can't wait to get my hands on this. Um, the 1911 shoots a 45 ACP round. It's an
And
American-made pistol.
this one was in the mod.
Yes, it
Definitely.
was in the mod for sure. Um, and that's what makes me, it's kind of interesting that some of the Reddit information that had this posted in a residential location. Um, but I think, to me, it would make more sense for it to be a more military loot weapon.
Yeah, you're kind of right. From the stuff I've seen so far, like people are finding it in the kind of more residential spots, but it seems as though they're mixing up they're mixing up both residential and military stuff now.
Hmm.
Like previously, you either found a gun, it was either in the the certain residential spots or it was
Hmm.
in the military spots. Now it seems to have kind of mixed the two. So some guns are spawning in both, which is nice. I think it kind of helps keep things a bit more fresh and a bit more realistic, I guess.
Right. Now I did find a couple of first look videos on YouTube. I want to take a look real quick at the 1911. It's pretty nice looking. This is from a YouTuber called Silo. Silo, your DayZ source. So go check him out on YouTube. YouTube.com/Silo. So go check that out. Go give him a subscription. He's got a pretty nice little setup here on his YouTube. So go check that out. But he has some pretty cool footage
Really freaking cool. Like,
of the 1911 uh, live in the game, looking pretty cool. I like the way that the handguard looks with the Spartan emblem there. That is sexy as fuck, man. Um, it's got the cool underrail, so you can put flashlights on it, stuff like that. I am really excited about this gun. I like a little bit too excited. I knew that they were going to be putting in a 1911, but I didn't think it was going to look this good.
Yeah.
um,
They've got. I think they've got a lot of talent working on these items. Like just all the new items that come into the game just look really shit hot.
yeah,
There's no expense spared when it comes to model details.
yeah. So I'm really excited about the 1911. Silo actually has new gun videos out for each of the new guns. You can see his stuff out, like I said, on youtube.com/Silo on PC is the official link. I'll put that in chat right now. So definitely go check that out. Go give him a subscription. He also does have stuff for the new 22 Amphibia S and the Ruger 22, which is the 22 pistols.
do whatever you want to call
What
it.
are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the 22s? The pistol first off.
Yeah, let's move on to the amphibia. It looks, it kind of looks. I don't know. It looks less detailed than
Hmm.
the 1911 and the CR75, but still looks like a cool gun. Apparently, it's in use, or it was in use by the U.S. Navy SEALs.
Hmm.
It's kind of suppressed by default.
Yeah, it's it's
The
what they.
long barrel
Mhm.
and the kind of small caliber ammunition make it very quiet.
Yeah, it's what they call an integrally
Yeah,
suppressed.
suppressed.
So like the suppressor is in the barrel, built into the barrel rather than an outboard screw on type um, suppressor. Now, I think one of the things that is interesting about it is that it's basically single shot, I believe.
Well, there are magazines for it, but I've not had it in game, so
I have not
I'm
had
not
it in
exactly
game.
sure.
I think he's just having to. Maybe he doesn't have a
To cham
magazine. Yeah,
I think maybe he doesn't have a magazine. He's just chambering it every round.
gotcha. But this will be really good. It'll be if you can get headshots off, it'll be a great zombie killing weapon. Great zombie killing weapon.
Yeah, it should make a nice kind of stealthish weapon.
Yeah. So that's pretty
So I
cool.
managed to get my hands on the root.
And also the same thing goes. We'll go with the Ruger 1022, which is the rifle. The rifle will obviously make a lot more noise, but it again is a 22 caliber a weapon, which is going to be very quiet. And I'm not sure if the rounds that they're putting in the game are going to be subsonic rounds. I would imagine they are, which basically means it's going to be very quiet. Interested to see how this one plays. I know in the video that he shows here on Silo's channel, at some points he was trying to take care of zombies, and it was taking a lot of body hits to hit zombies. But what actually concerned me was it was taking multiple multiple headshots to kill a zombie with the 1022.
Yeah,
Thoughts on that?
I've read around Reddit, DayZ forums. I think the .22 rounds are really quite. I don't know about underpowered, but they're compared to the other weapons, they're really quite weak.
Right.
So we're kind of assuming at this point that these weapons are going to be more for hunting animals than they are players
Right.
or zombies. So hopefully, I would like to see these weapons more common,
Mm-hmm.
more common than the other more powerful weapons.
Yeah.
So it'll give people more of a chance to survive if you're shot by these things. But hopefully, players will be using them to shoot boars and deers and rabbits and birds rather than shooting players in
Yeah.
Cherno.
Yeah, I agree. I would not recommend trying to engage a player with this weapon at all.
Yeah,
You could probably go through a couple of clips with the I guess in the game they're calling it the Sporter 22, but it's
Yeah.
basically it's in real life it would be called a Rugerton 22.
yeah,
And I would not recommend it. It should be a pretty common game, or it should be, excuse me, it should be a pretty common gun in the game. But it's gonna it's a bit bigger than a BB gun basically.
yeah.
It just shoots a little bit faster than a BB gun. So don't try. I mean, it's better than nothing. I'd rather have a 22 aimed at a player than nothing at all. But you probably do better with a hatchet in your hand. Um, so that kind of rounds it out as far as the firearms go. They did
Yeah,
add.
there's
Go ahead.
some more interesting stuff specifically in the .42 patch notes. There's a lot more paintable gear, so you can now paint fire axes, which was kind of long requested. Painting fire axes green or black.
Oh yes.
What else can we paint? SKS can now be painted. The B95 hunting rifle can now be painted. Ballistic helmets can be painted. So there's a lot more customization in terms of how players can make themselves kind of unique and feel more part of a group. Like if a group finds a spray can, like I think it'll be easier for the group to kind of group themselves together, I guess, with certain colors.
Yeah, absolutely. Having everybody's axes painted green would
Yeah.
be a great way to tell friend from foe, or whatever. Having them painted camouflage, black and green, again would be a great way to kind of make a distinction of people who are in your party and who aren't. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
There's a new melee weapon, the pitchfork.
Yeah.
We discussed new melee weapons in pilot episode. I think we discussed machete
Yes.
and the farming hoe.
The
Uh,
shittiest weapons in the game.
Yeah. Chances are pitchfork is pretty bad.
Yeah.
I think I've read on Reddit that it's not very good.
I haven't seen one. I have not seen one.
I've seen a screenshot. I've not seen it in game.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in game. So
But I think the thing with adding these new kind of farming things, obviously, it's just the prerequisite to setting up the whole farming thing in general.
yeah, so you'll be able to grow your own food, have your own little farm somewhere.
Yeah, tend to your plot, grow potatoes or carrots or whatever, and
You would say
stick them
potatoes.
stick them in your stick them in your cooking pot and make
Yeah.
some soup.
So that'll be. Let's talk about that real quick, and that's not something we even have like ready in the show notes at all. Like this is a total tangent. Let's talk about like what could be with farming. The ability to grab some seeds somewhere or to harvest some seeds from like if you have an apple, harvest an apple seed from the actual apple and then use that to plant to make an orchard of some kind. But I'm actually kind of excited for that, like almost on the same level as we talked about during the pilot episode, the ability to have a horse and tend to your own horse and feed your own horse and medicate your own horse. That same kind of thought pattern I think is pretty exciting for players like me. enjoy survival. Don't get me wrong, I like to shoot people in the face, but going off into the woods and being able to survive is not something that's really possible right now. Like, you get north of the airfield, of the Northwest airfield, and there is fuck all out there. Like, you better hope you have some water or you're boned, you know? So the ability to go somewhere and just, till up some earth and, plant some apple trees or some potatoes, like you said, that's pretty freaking cool. And I look forward to that update. It does say in the patch notes that the pitchfork, which has been put in place for the upcoming DayZ farming patch. So this is, I guess, the unofficial official survival patch. That's 0.37. And then somewhere down the line is going to be a farming patch. So
Yeah, sooner rather than later, hopefully.
yep.
I think I think bringing everything together, like leaving horses and stuff out of it at the moment, because that's going to be a little while down the line. But once we have physics and persistent storage, the cooking stuff and farming, and all this new farming equipment, like an intense and backpacks being persistent as well, that is really gonna allow people to set up camp wherever really they want. So you can just take off in the woods, just run a mile or two, northwest or whatever,
Right.
finding a nice little spot, and just kind of maybe choose a deer stand or one of those little chicken coops or whatever
Oh
those
yeah.
little wooden things are, and just leave all your stuff, like a nice little farm, backpack hidden away, and you can constantly return there. Like, just you can go tend to your crops, take off to the cities, do your looting,
Mhm.
like try and survive, try and not be killed by bandits, and then go back and
Right.
finish off your farming runs.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Can't wait till they get some kind of a persistent like tent system or housing system or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can have like a lovely little cottage next to your farm. It'd be cool if you could, pin a pig or something. You could capture a boar and
Yeah,
and pin it up.
that would be cool.
And have some livestock.
Someone in chat, RB1, has just mentioned the fact that you could actually potentially add poison to your vegetables. Like,
Oh,
so you could have, maybe you could have like a potato patch and a carrot patch,
a
but
troll patch.
you could poison the potato patch specifically just to catch people out, like people that are trying to raid your stuff. Like, if they come and eat your potatoes, and you come back to your farm and there's a dead guy on the ground, then he's been
That'd
in
be
at
amazing.
your poisoned potatoes.
Don't eat Jamie's poison potatoes. Um. So, anyways, yeah, that's a whole other realm of interaction with other players. So that's super
Yeah.
cool. Couple of other as far as the full patch notes go, a couple of other things that are listed. Um, there's some new coats, wool coats, different colors. There's some new variants of the firefighter axe, some new caps, some new jackets and things like that. So the new jackets look pretty cool. There's a neat little farm. This isn't a very good picture, but the new little farmer's cap and farmer's jacket looks pretty cool. Looks like that guy just wants us to get off his lawn, basically. Um,
Yeah, with his
um,
shotgun. It
yeah.
looks pretty cool.
Get off my lawn. You also have a lovely dashing individual here with his jacket and his cowboy hat. Looks very cool. He's
It's a
got a
very cool loadout.
yeah. He's got the
One of
crafted
one of the
backpack.
coolest I've seen, I think.
Yeah. I don't like, if I came across this guy, I don't know if I could make myself shoot at him, just because he looks so dashing and like, oh my god, this guy. Um. So yeah, those are some of the new jackets. You can see the jacket here, that are inside the game. So definitely be looking for those. Great way to make your player look a little bit better out there while you're trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse. What else? Oh,
As far,
sound issues. As far as sound, subsonic projectiles no longer emit supersonic crack, which is great. That means that if you're shooting a 1022 and you happen to miss, if you have a player nearby, they won't hear that cow or anything like that over their head, because subsonic projectiles like the 22 rounds won't give that kind of over the head crack sound. So that's cool.
I mean, that kind of covers most of the interesting stuff for 0.42.
Well, now chances are by the time we get done doing this and we and we post this to YouTube and we have it available for people to put on their iPods and stuff for podcasting,
Yeah.
they'll already have more patch notes available, or they'll
Yeah,
have like a dev blog or some
probably,
kind of update. Which is fun. We'll do an update, you know.
Yeah. That's just how it goes.
That's how it goes. So yeah, I'm happy with that. There are a couple of cool community things that are out there. I saw an interesting post on Reddit talking about the view distance in standalone at the moment. And no one really knows for sure what the view distance is in the game. Like nobody's for certain on how long what it looks like from different distances. So these two players from Reddit actually took it upon themselves to figure that out, and I was very impressed with this. And I'll be putting this up here so you guys can see it. Now this is on the on an imager, and basically what they do is, and I'll read the description of this. My friend and me tested how far enemies would be visible. For clarity, the person who is aiming stands on top of the Black Mountain Castle Tower. The target moves crossways through the northwest part of Krasnostav to a point above the city, northeast from its original position. So this is with view distance cranked up to 3200, preferred object view distance at 2500, and scene complexity at 100,000. So so basically, and I'll show this really big for you. This is the aiming point is here where my mouse cursor is, right here on top of the castle tower. He's aiming at the city, and the target's at the edge of the city. So the yellow line is the aiming distance to the first position. And as you can see in this first, this is what it looks like from there. That's 600 meters. So 600 meters is definitely, you can see everything. It looks really good. You can see that he's holding a weapon. You can see even the color of the skin of the player. So pretty good there. He begins to move away. As you can see, the player begins to move through the town. And things begin to go wrong.
Yeah. So it seems at around 680 meters, the player on the town's legs disappear, which is weird. It's not something I've noticed, but it's, I guess, if these guys have put it to the test, and the test is pretty much. I mean, the guy's using pretty much max like settings in the game.
Yeah,
So
basically.
it seems strange to have someone's legs disappear. I mean, the guy is pretty much just running through the ground.
Yeah. I mean that happens like sometimes zombies are like that. You know what? It just struck me that could be some kind of a desync, because
Yeah.
sometimes whenever you're playing with other players, like you're playing with a squad, and they'll walk into a building with you, like let's say the marketplace or the grocery, like they'll be walking like with their legs underneath the foundation.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes, so that could have been a desync issue and not necessarily an issue where that happens every time. I would actually be interested to see if this happens all the time.
Yeah. It
So
would be
that's
nice to see some. There are quite a few YouTubers like Wobo or DayZ Mythbusters or
mhm,
quite a few others that do kind of like proper scientific tests on the kind of DayZ stuff. So it would be nice to get a proper view on exactly how this works because this is just one guy's view
right.
from one test.
So that's at 680. The legs disappear. It stays about that way until I think at about 800, 850, things start disappearing. The player gets a little bit splotchy. Barely head and weapon are visible. You can see in this image. This is at 850 meters. Um, that's that's pretty. That kind of bums me out. And then at about 900, you can see by comparison, that's about another 50 yards. Uh, Basically, the entire player begins to disappear. So, about
Yeah,
900 is the draw distance for other players right now.
yeah.
Thoughts on that?
It would. They're definitely going to have to address view distance as soon as they start adding sniper rifles to the game. Because once snipers get added and people are taking shots like 900 meters, 1,000 meters,
Right.
kind of up to 1,200, really. It's really important that players look like actual players from a distance. So
Right. Not like a glitched out bush
yeah,
or a zombie.
yeah,
Um,
they're definitely going to have to address that.
the like I know that like there are like wasteland servers where you could you can turn up the draw distance and turn down the draw distance.
Yeah,
In Arma 2 Wasteland, I think even in Arma 3 Wasteland, but I don't think it should go to that because I think it should be pre-prescribed. But I think a good like I'd be okay with like a 1500 draw distance for everything.
yeah.
For
1,500 that would be really helpful for everyone. Like no one, I would think, even with a sniper rifle, you're not going to be making shots greater than 1,500 meters.
Right. Well, and I mean,
So
I'm not even that big of a sniper. I don't really.
yeah,
I'm not
e-
like a big sniper fanatic, so I don't really care about making those big long shots. But if I'm at the top of this castle, I want to know that I can see 1500 or I can
oh yeah,
see that a player is approaching, or maybe if I'm trying to stalk a player, I can use that. I can see him. Like if I'm coming into Cherno and I know that there's a player ahead of me, that I've been tracking, that I can go up top and know what direction he's leaving or looting through the town. So
yeah,
draw distance is something that they've got to address. Some of this, and this is one thing I would like to see further tested. Kind of like what you said, because this may be kind of a very specific instance of where it didn't work very well, or the server was having issues, or someone was desynced, or some kind of texture wasn't popping correctly, or something in like that, or wasn't rendering in correctly. So I'd love to see some further testing on this. If any of you in the community so happen to be so inclined to do that kind of testing, please let us know what your thoughts are on that.
yeah.
Um, what's next? Oh yes, we were wanting to talk about uh, the DayZ Battle Royale.
Yeah, let's give that a quick mention.
Yeah.
So Brendan, the guy that runs DayZ BR, DayZ Battle Royale,
Mhm.
Arma 2 mod, massively popular. You've probably seen it if you're a DayZ fan, or if you've watched any of the big streamers, you've probably seen them playing Battle Royale.
Mhm.
So Brendan is now working on moving the mod to Arma 3. So I think the map is Stratus. I think if
Stratus.
you got a screenshot there
Yep.
of the kind of
Battle
teaser pic.
Royale Stratus. A new
So
mod for Arma 3 coming soon.
Brendan kind of mentioned that it's still a baby. Like, I don't think a whole lot of work has been done so far. Although they have invited players in to test it, so
Right.
they must have the kind of basic functionality there to start games and stuff. But
Yeah. I believe that most of the server infrastructure is there. I don't believe that they have implemented zombies yet.
yeah,
Um, but I think some basic weapons and some basic vehicles and um, the kind of rough game type of battle royale is there.
yeah, that stuff's already in place.
They're I don't think they've worked out the I don't know if you remember in Arma 2 Battle Royale you had the Osprey that would fly around and drop care packages.
Yeah,
They haven't worked that out yet. They've got like a random carpet bombing kind of thing that's supposedly really cool. I haven't seen it firsthand yet. This is off a secondhand account, but I've heard that the carpet bombing, the area of carpet bombing is pretty neat the way they've got it right now. So I'm looking forward to trying it. I haven't had a chance to get my hands on it yet. I was one of the people that they invited to test it, but I haven't got my hands on it yet. So I'm super excited to try.
me too.
Hopefully I get my hands on it here this next week, sometime. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
go check that out.
I'm gonna try and catch up with Brendan in the next week, and get a kind of lowdown on exactly what they've got so far, what they've got coming up in the future, and I'll put a post together and stick it on DayZ Intel. So
Cool.
look out for that.
Stay tuned to DayZ Intel at Twitter and DayZintel.com for information on that. Now, really quick question I think is really relevant to what we're talking about. Oblivion asked in chat. He said, "Will Arma 2 mod not be updated then anymore, or will they work on Arma 2 and Arma 3?" I believe that basically the Arma 2 version of DayZ, what you would call vanilla DayZ, is in the hands of the community as it is.
Yeah.
So the development team that is working on DayZ standalone hasn't had or touched the mod in forever, like basically a year. Um, so whether or not the Arma 2 mod continues to develop is up to the community members that have been working on it. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I know, and I can say this for sure, that that there are tons of DayZ Epoch servers that are continuing development. They're continuing to work. They're continuing to improve. There's new Epoch server map types like every couple of weeks. I've had a couple of friends that have been trying to get me to play Epoch Nap or something, some map type called Nap. They've been trying to get me to play it a lot. I haven't had time to yet, but so we'll see how that goes. Pretty excited to see how that turns out. As as Jamie disappears on me. But we'll see how the mod develops. I know that there are a number of mods also for Arma 3 that are out there that are in development. Battle Royale is one of them. The other is Breaking Point, which is an Arma 3 mod. It's not DayZ. Technically, it doesn't use any of the DayZ server files. Or anything like that, because it's not a port or anything like that. They basically started from the ground up and made a completely new zombie survival game, which is it's called Arma 3 Breaking Point, and so you might check that out. I've been hearing some neat things and seeing some neat things out of Breaking Point, so you should definitely check that out if you have the PC that can run Arma 3, or if you have Arma 3 sitting around and you can run it pretty well. Might check out Breaking Point. Check out Battle Royale. They're working on it. Battle Royale is still active for Arma 2. I don't think that they're in active development for it anymore. So, and Overwatch, that's a good point. Overwatch and Epoch are going to Arma 3. So that's news. I didn't know that Overwatch was, but I had inklings that Epoch was going to do that. So we'll see how those things develop. I am interested to see that no one. What we're talking about, Jamie, is development of Arma 3 mods and Arma 2 mods when
Yeah.
they're continuing stuff. Um, what I'm interested to see is how many mods, how many of these famous mods, like well, I say famous, how many of these big mods, like Epoch, like Overwatch, will skip standalone. They're not even going to wait for the standalone files, and they're just going to start developing for Arma 3. What are your thoughts on that? Should they wait? Should they? Should
Well, it seems, I guess, breaking point. I guess you could say we're kind of leading the boat on that one.
mhm.
They kind of broke off way long ago, and they seem to be doing pretty well with their own kind of their own take on the thing.
Right.
Um, I know 2017, the that was a DayZ mod. They have also followed suit and turned to Arma 3 in development right now. It's pretty early on, but I think from what I've seen of it, it also looks really good. I'm excited to be able to try that out as well.
Yeah.
So Breaking Point 2017. If these guys are saying Overwatch possibly, and the Epoch guys are all going to Arma 3, like I can't see a whole load. Like once the standalone files become available, like all the big mods are already going to be established to some point on the Arma 3 engine, so I don't see a whole lot of them picking up where standalone has kind of left them.
Right. Um, I think it's kind of an interesting. We're kind of like this interesting place where like some people are jumping ship to Arma 3, some people are waiting for standalone
Yeah,
tools to basically be made available to them. I'm interested to see what happens with it because I think standalone will be much better optimized for everybody's PC, like the random user. And that might be a more stable environment for people to make a mod for. Um, with the most opportunity for new users. So if we're talking about the normal person that comes in that maybe never played the mod, um, that don't have a beast computer that can run a crazy Epoch Arma 3 mod, you know, I'm interested to see what happens with that, because there may be players that or there may be mod makers that just wait buy their time, and then hit it really big with modding standalone, which I think
yeah,
and this is one of the things we talked about during the pilot, which I think will happen around the time that Rocket is getting ready for his departure from Bohemia.
yeah. It seems that way. Yeah.
Um, so community news that kind of leads us into talking about the Reddit Weekly Challenge. Tell us about the Reddit Weekly Challenge. This is week 3 of the Reddit Weekly Challenge. For those of you who are Redditors, perk your ears up. If you're not a Redditor, go make an account. It's free. It's Reddit. And it's a really easy way to keep up to date with community and patch news and game news for DayZ.
Yeah, the DayZ Reddit is kind of the hub for DayZ, kind of the hub for news, but
Yeah.
there's
Content in
a lot.
general.
Yeah, there's just a lot of content, a lot of community stuff going on Reddit all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the mods have put together a weekly challenge series. So like Wesley said, we're on week 3. Week 1, the challenge was get as many players together as you can and take a screenshot of yourselves on the Santa Tower in Cherno.
Right.
Week 2 was a whole bunch of screenshots in and around Cherno, taking images with things like billboards and lighthouses and all that sort of stuff. And now week 3, I think, is getting some images together of certain loot items in your inventory.
Yeah. So you have to like have a hacksaw, fireman's axe, duct tape, cooking pot, gas powered stove turned on, walkie talkie, water bottle, um, 4 batteries, a pristine piece of fruit, and a note saying only Survivor Challenge Series Week 3 buy and your Reddit username at the end. So
Yeah,
I love the note little bit there because it kind of forces players to kind of put their own little personal touch
yeah.
on it. So um,
it's just a nice way. It's just something nice for players to do, kind of end game, because as it stands right now, like DayZ does not have a lot of end game stuff uh, in it right now. So
Quests, like there's no
yeah,
quests or
yeah,
like like missions to go on or anything like that. So this kind of gives players a mission to go on.
yeah,
And you get stuff. You upload a
yeah. The
screenshot of yourself with all the items in your inventory, and oh, look at you, Jamie, with that lovely misspell. Spell it word there. Gotta call you
which
out
one?
on stream. I'm messing with you by items in your inventory.
I'm gonna change that right now.
uh, I love messing with you. Anyways, so you'll be able to gain some points in the leaderboard. You can find the leaderboard there on the DayZ Reddit. Winners are given a unique Reddit flair for each and every win, and the opportunity to name an upcoming challenge. So if you win, you have the opportunity to name what the next challenge will be. So that's pretty cool. And then the leaderboards are on the Reddit as well. You can see the Reddit points out there already. So go check that out. Reddit.com/r/DayZ, and just go look for the weekly challenge. It's up there on the Reddit. Um, Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I love this. I didn't get a chance to do week 1 or 2, but I think I can pull off week 3. We'll see.
Can you do me a quick favor and just refresh that post?
I'm gonna refresh it. All right, I'm gonna do it live on air. So if you mess it up even more, inventory. There we go. Confirmed on stream.
Scroll up.
What? Scroll up. Okay.
At the top,
I'm all the way up the top.
do you see a thing that says "fuck you"?
Uh-uh. Where does it say
refresh again.
Oh, I see it.
I'm gonna change it quickly.
There's some Wesley somewhere. He's like, what the hell, dude? Why? My name was Wesley, but I didn't do anything.
This is my
Why?
consort.
Why are
It's
you doing
reshaping
that to me?
TV.
I don't understand.
Okay,
There's
that's
some
gone.
random Wesley out there that's highly offended right
I just removed that quickly, so no one else is gonna see that.
now. Love it. I love it. That's what I get for taking the piss out of you. What else? What else we're gonna talk about? Oh, I think we've actually handled a lot of the chat questions we were wanting to talk about. If any of you, I know that earlier one of my moderators was saying if you have a question to hold on to it. If you have any questions now, go ahead and put them in chat. We'll catch them as they come up. We do have a couple of other things we're going to talk about, but if you do have a question, go ahead and put them in chat. We'll come to them and we'll answer them to the best of our knowledge. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about some kind of housekeeping things as far as the show goes. We have an RSS feed, right?
Yes.
Um,
So if you have a mobile Android iPhone device that you have some sort of podcast app on, you can subscribe to the feed. It's deadair.com, deadair.dayzintel.com/feed/podcast.
Mhm.
Type that into your podcatcher, and every time a new episode goes up, it will automatically be downloaded to your feed.
Right. Now, and all this kind of information that can be found on Dead Air, right? It's Dead Air Dead Air, all
DayZintel.com.
one word, .dayzintel.com. I'll show that on the stream here for you so you can get a look at it. And here you can see the RSS feed. If you're a podcaster, if you like to listen to podcasts on your way to work or while you're taking a poop, I don't know. Maybe you like to listen to it while you're playing DayZ and just have it in the background. Maybe you don't have multiple monitors. The RSS feed will give you that the feed for the podcast for just the audio only of the basically every episode that you want there for Dead Air. Now, there is a little bit of a turnaround as far as goes, like the time it takes for me to upload this up to YouTube and strip the audio out and get it to Jamie so he can put it in the podcaster. So usually what we try to do is have the podcast uploaded to YouTube by the end of the day and have it go live tomorrow. But as soon as it's ready, we go live with it. So really be watching DayZintel.com as Jamie will be posting a link for this week's episode there, and you can also check us both out on Twitter, as our Twitters will be pumping out that information as well. You can also you can listen to the podcast through the RSS feed. You can watch it on YouTube if you missed the earlier portion of the stream, and you want to go back and watch it on YouTube. You can watch it there. You can share it with your friends. Maybe if they weren't here for this, please share it with your friends. But also you can contact the show through that same page that I was showing you before, deadair.dayzintel.com. I'll even post it in chat for you. You can go there and you can actually click on the link that's right here that says Dead Air DayZ Talk Show, contact the show. If you have anything that you would like us to talk about, any particular mod, if you're a mod maker and you would like us to talk about your mod, if you have some news that you would like to give us, some exclusive news, please contact us through this. It'll send you to a nice little form where you can input some information and email it. It'll go back. This will go straight to both Jamie and I, so you'll get in touch with us really, really easily. The easiest way I think is to contact us on Twitter, which is at DayZintel for Jamie and at drumsetjunky for me. But this will work as well. I was gonna say something else, but I don't remember what it was.
Something else that we're kind of looking to do in future episodes would be getting guests on the show.
Yes.
So as well as myself and Wesley, there would be another little box on the stream, and your face could be there. So if you want to, if you'd like to appear on the show, just get in touch via Twitter or through the contact form on the website.
Yep.
And we'll consider it and get back to you.
If maybe you're not interested in being in the show, but you have a favorite streamer that you prefer to watch, that you watch on a regular basis, that you would like to be on the show, let them know. Say, hey, I found this cool podcast talk show thing that goes live every couple of weeks or every week, and they talk about DayZ, and they talk about standalone, they talk about mods, and they talk about all kinds of other stuff. Go check it out. Send them over to the YouTube and tell them to contact us, as we would love to have streamers, we would love to have developers and mod makers on the show. So definitely check that out for sure, and give your favorite streamer the heads up that we're out here. We are really the only live streamed and recorded DayZ Talk Show. There is another podcast out there, but as far as just live recorded, done live, streamed talk show, we're it. In the future, we would like to do more community interaction where we take questions from chat, where we potentially even have viewers call in via Skype, where they can actually voice their opinions and comments and questions to the co-hosts. So that's something we're looking at doing in the future as the show develops. So thank you so much for watching. I don't think I have anything else. Any last points, things you want to talk about, Jamie?
I think we've pretty much covered everything we wanted to talk about tonight.
Awesome. We don't know, and this is kind of the weird thing. We don't know when the next show will be, when episode 2 will be. We might do it after 0.37 comes out. I would imagine that after 0.37 comes out, they might do some more patch notes for 0.42. We'll see. But that's when probably when the next show will be. We don't know. The best place to figure all that out is our Twitters at DayZintel.com and at drumsetjunky.com. And I have actually been remiss. Chat reminded me. DayZ Intel is actually working on merchandise, right?
Yes, I see that message in chat. This is a DayZ Intel T-shirt. Let me just stand up.
There you go. Show us
It's a
the
nice
pics.
Huey helicopter. This is actually a sample, but the finished products will be much nicer than this, and they will be available to purchase on the store in a couple of weeks' time. So that's store.dayzintel.com. You'll be able to buy nice DayZ T-shirts and other merchandise.
Yes, if you go to dayzintel.com right now, you can actually see some previews of that T-shirt, some of the graphics on the sidebar. I'll show that on here real quick. So be sure to go check that out. I'm excited to get one. I want it on my body for sure. But I'm gonna see, guys, and Jamie is being tight-lipped with me so far. But I'm gonna see if I can't wrestle a few T-shirts away from the cold dead hands of whatever zombie is making these shirts, and see if we can't do some DayZintel.com T-shirt giveaways here on Dead Air for the future. So go to DayZintel.com. The merch store is not quite open yet, as they don't have a lot of really any merch yet. But as you can see, the detail on the helicopter T-shirt, like you just saw him wearing, is pretty cool. It's got pistols and knives and all kinds of other Survivor gear that is prevalent in standalone. So definitely check that out. Super excited to get one of those on my body.
Yeah, we're excited to launch the store in the coming weeks.
Cool. We need to work on a Dead Air shirt.
Yeah, you're totally right. We do.
Dead Air shirt. So, I don't know why that's the first time we've ever talked about that. That's like the first time we've ever even said, we should do a Dead Air shirt.
Yeah, that's totally a possibility, man.
Yeah. What else? Don't forget to contact the show with stuff that you want. Maybe it's a segment. I want to reiterate this because we really want this show to be not just about me and Jamie, not just about me and Jamie and my stream and his website and whatever guests we have on the week. We want this to be a community-driven show. So if you have ideas for the show, some different bits that we can do, stuff we can highlight, community content that you would like us to highlight, please contact us just by hitting us up on Twitter or by the contact page on the Dead Air front page there on DayZintel.com. Please do that, as we don't want this just to be about us and us being talking heads. We want it to be a community show. That's why we're taking questions. We want to take questions from chat, questions and comment from chat, and also later on we want to take actual voice calls from Skype on the show as well. So please hit us up. Let us know what your thoughts are, as that feedback will be really important to us. This episode, which is Dead Air episode 1, the actual premiere, technically the premiere episode, it will be on YouTube as soon as possible. Hopefully tomorrow, midday is probably about the earliest I can kind of confirm it, but we'll see. But be sure to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/drumsetjunky. I know I push that a lot, but it really is the best place to know what's going on with me, what's going on with my stream, when I go live, when I do giveaways, because on this channel I do giveaways every 50 followers. So I think we're actually coming up to a follower goal here pretty soon. So yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Jamie, shoutouts.
Go ahead, follow me on Twitter as well, at DayZintel. Check DayZintel.com. If you want a t-shirt, check back in the next few weeks. We'll have a post up, and that's it. Thanks, I guess. Thanks everyone for coming out to the chat and watching live.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you for Fluff says, I have a question. Are they ever going to make shovels not suck? I don't know. I hope so. I hope that they make them not suck as soon as possible.
Me too.
With that, I think we're done though. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I probably will be streaming here, maybe in a couple of minutes. No guarantees. So be sure to hit that follow button. I may be streaming some DayZ Standalone immediately after this. What have you been gaming on lately? This is an extra bonus round. What have you been playing lately?
I've actually been playing a lot of, strangely enough, Sonic and All Stars Racing. I have a 5-year-old son, so we kind of play that a lot together. He's a big fan of Sonic, and it's actually a really good racing game. It's one of the best racing games I've played. So
Playing it on PC? Or
yeah,
both?
on PC.
Cool. All right. I have been this past weekend I gained an addiction for Altus Life. I've been playing with the Custom Combat gaming community. You can find those guys at Custom Combat. But the CCG guys, when they make servers like for like any PC platform game, they fucking go all out. And this Altus Life is a lot of fun. I've been playing it with them. I've been jumping on their TeamSpeak and having a lot of fun with the Custom Combat Gaming guys. So, real quick shout out to the Custom Combat Gaming crew as I heart you. Thanks for all the fun this weekend, and thanks for getting me addicted into another Arma product. Jesus. Yeah. Anything else? Can't think of anything else.
Nah.
All right. Thank you once again for watching the show. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Be sure to tune in for the next episode of Dead Air, a DayZ talking
Thanks everyone.
show of talking.
See yous.
See ya.